So, you know that for the last 4 days, you have been doing your night sky observations, and we've had a chance to talk about a few of your observations. I know that Monday and Tuesday were tough for some of you because it was pretty cloudy, but the last 2 nights have been a little different, huh? So, what I want to do first is give you an opportunity, erase this for you, is give you an opportunity I wanted to give you an opportunity to just have some personal reflection time with your observations, okay? So when you're looking at your night sky log, you can start thinking of some of these questions and see if by chance you collected any data on, for example, other natural objects. So this question is, what natural objects did you see in the night sky? So as you're looking at your log, and if you collected any of that data, that way it's fresh in your mind for when you talk with your team. The second question is, what did you record about the moon on your night sky log? And what changes did you notice, if any? Okay? So when I give the signal word, will you please just get out your night sky log and then just quietly think of some of these questions. Waxing. Increasing. I know it's so tempting to try to share. Hold on for just another minute. Just another minute. I'm going to give you time to discuss these questions and your findings together with your team. I just want to give everybody a moment to remember there's 4 days worth of data that you have. So just take a moment. Just your personal by yourself time. Now, you can use these same questions as discussion starters. What I mean by that is, if you're discussing one of these questions and your team finds yourself talking about something really interesting that some of you observed, then continue with that discussion. You don't have to just kind of plow through these questions, okay? Spend some time in that discussion, sharing. Now, again, with the first question, I did have a way that you could start your thought. So, for example, what natural objects did you see in the night sky in black? You could start by saying, I saw. Okay. Here's a suggestion for the moon. And here's a suggestion for what changes did you notice. You could start your sentence by saying, I noticed that. Okay? All right. Go ahead and turn. Okay, so it's time for you two to get to talking. Okay? And even if you don't have all your data, it's okay. You can also use some of your schema, because it's not the first time that you've observed the moon, right? So you can use your schema. Why don't you start with that first question? What natural objects did you see in the night sky?
Nickerson, Wednesday was a Where do you live? You should have got the sleep.
I'm just wondering if there's a way that you could use one of those to make sure that every person's participating. You have a team member that's not. Maybe you could say, Alexia, what do you think? What did you see? Right?
Alexia, what did you see?
So what's interesting is maybe you could focus a little on, because it sounds like you're talking about the changes that happen, right?
Yeah.
So since a lot of you went out at around the same time, what changes did you notice from day to day? So talk together.
Where are your boxes at? Because maybe it could be.
What are you talking about? This team. What got smaller?
The moon. They are bigger and then this one. And these ones are smaller and then this one's bigger. And some moons appear in the morning.
So I just wanted to clarify something because I just wanted to make sure that I thought I heard something different from the two of you. I thought you said the moon was getting smaller and you said it was getting bigger.
I mean smaller.
What do you think, Sam? What did you notice? Did you notice that the moon was getting smaller?
But I could still see the moon.
And what did the moon look like? Yeah? So would you say that you would disagree with the moon getting smaller? Or would you agree? And why? And one thing that might help next time, if you labeled, remember how we labeled the other day, visible or invisible? It might help me. I know you know which one is which. Which one is this? Invisible or visible?
Mr. Nickerson?
Okay, we'll have to see if all the teams have the same. We are going to use our observations from our night sky log, or a few of you had forgotten, but you made the observations. You can still use that data and your discussion to write a little bit in your notebook. Write about your thinking right now in your notebook, okay? And let's put this here for the moment, actually. I will, so let me explain this first, and I do have an example in my notebook. I'll wait. Thank you. We're being so accountable that we're anticipating what I'm about to say. Let me give the directions and explanation first, and then I'll give you the signal word, okay? So, the title of this investigation is Night Sky Observations. Definitely date our notebooks at all times. We know that. And then our focus question for our notebook. I know we have some other discussion questions, and we're going to keep talking about that. But for our notebook, the focus question is, what have you learned about the shape of the moon? Okay. What have you learned about the shape of the moon? So you'll want to write that in the next available page of your notebook, and hold on real quick, because I'll help you with your notebook. And then here's a sentence starter. You don't have to use it, but you can. I learned. Okay. Let me turn on the Elmo. And If you remember on Monday when we practiced how to make a science sketch of the moon, because it can be a little difficult to sketch this. We had the visible, the invisible side, right? And then we had the labels. We made that practice or that notebook entry on, I did it on page 19. Today, for this notebook entry, you're going to do, it needs to be on the right side. Mine is page 21. It needs to be on the right side. If you remember, we glue in our data or other science tools on the left side. We're not gluing right now, but we're just writing. But we need to write on the right side, excuse me. What have you learned about the shape of the moon? Can you get them? Oh, thank you, Marisol. Getting them out for the whole team. We're doing it. Those are table of contents. We're going to do the table of contents next week. Got it. Good job.
I'm on page.
Okay, this is your 1-minute warning, just to write your to just finish that thought. You will have some time after our class talk, after our science talk, to finish writing and write a little bit more, okay? That's one of the beautiful things about collecting data as a scientist. You can't remember everything. So the great thing is, if you forget, you can go back to your data and think, oh, that's right. Especially something like a science drawing, right? So just take a moment. Okay, you can leave your notebook out and open at your seat. Pencil, just make sure your pencil is someplace where it will not fall on the ground. Thank you. Stable position, right? And when I give the signal word, will you please join me on the carpet in a circle? Waxing. Waxing. Increasing.